Hannah came to check in. She's in her new medium size t-shirt.
As an opioid, it may cause serious, life-threatening breathing problems. Ask about naloxone for opioid overdose. Get emergency
I forgot to turn the video on.
sleepy, confused, have problems
Okay,
breathing,
let's try
talking,
this.
or if naloxone is given,
I started a little bit of a bend.
stop.
Okay, the first thing I do is moisten the area of the rib that I'm going to be bending. And then I slowly introduce steam to it. And warm it up, pulling on the bending slat. And what you want to try to do is keep the rib pretty much straight and fully contacting the iron. Then every so often kind of checking where the bend is. Moistening the rib again every so often. Just the part that contacts the iron. The tricky thing is keeping that rib, evenly on the bending slat. And you got to pull pretty hard, but you don't want to do the bends too quickly, because then that's when it cracks. And you have to kind of estimate where the bend will begin, which is kind of a tricky thing. Pulling on the slat, kind of sliding the rib very slowly against the iron towards the area that you want to gradually do a sharper bend. So it's a slow process. Keeping the rib flat against the iron is kind of tricky too, because it keeps wanting to move on you and shift around. So there's a little bit of a bend there, but there's still quite a bit more to do. Sometimes I use a pencil. Well, not yet, but I'm kind of moistening again the area that I want to try to bend next. I don't know if you saw that. See that little bead of water jumping on the iron? That's how you know it's hot enough. I set it at 170 degrees centigrade, but it never seems to go above 160. I don't know if it's just the defect in the temperature gauge or what. So I'm pulling. I'm trying the wider slat right now. But in the end, I think I figured out I like the more traditional narrow bending slat better. So it kind of gives me more room to position the rib. But I like this one because of the wooden handles. Sometimes you pull on it and you just kind of hold it there, but you can't hold it too long because you don't want it to scorch. You kind of move it, slide it, rock it back and forth. I'm constantly dropping it. Checking it. Everything drops. I'll just leave that there. So the hardest part about bending a rib is trying to estimate where to place the rib on the iron. You know where you want to bend it more sharply, but trying to determine where to start that new bend on the rib is kind of just guessing. It's trial and error. Sorry, I'm kind of blocking the view here. My camera is behind me. Again, going slowly is better than trying to do it too quickly. The hardest bend is the upper bout corner because it's a sharper bend. And you're tempted to bend it quickly, but you can't because then you'll crack it. You want to avoid overbending. Overbending isn't too bad because you can easily kind of flatten it out if it's a nice curve still by placing the other side against the iron. But flat spots are kind of tricky to remedy because then you have to try to figure out, okay, where do I place it on the iron so that it will create more of a round or pointy curve. And that's the tricky thing. You kind of move it slowly along the iron. I've seen people like even Lucas Fabro who you just place it on there and then you just keep pulling and pulling until it starts curving around the end points, but somehow I haven't been able to do that. Well, this took me a long time. I finished at 10:50, and I'll have to look to see when I started this video. 10 o'clock. 10 minutes to 11 I finished. And I can't remember when I started, so I have to look back at the info for this video to see what time it was when I started. So I'll probably end up speeding up a lot of this video because it's pretty long. It's now 10:50 a.m. and I have finished bending this C bout. What's funny is that when I'm bending it, I'm bending one side for the upper bout corner and the other side for the lower bout corner, but in a little while it seems that if I flip it around, it fits better. And then at the end, I flip it around again. It's kind of weird. But anyway, the important thing is that the flame is running the right direction, slightly to the right, very slightly. But here's the top side. And I have again moistened the rib and clamped it to let it sit by tomorrow, or maybe late tonight, I don't know. But it's fitting really well. So that's the top side. And here's the back side. So I'm happy. I don't know why I'm not cracking any ribs or scorching anything at this point, but I must be getting better at this, or the thickness of the ribs was just right. It's about 1.1 millimeters, or maybe it's just the quality of the rib, I don't know. But no cracking and no scorching.